Hey everybody, how are we? Are we ready for video number 2? This one is very counterculture and is going to really challenge you because the whole sum total of the chapter and the assignment, if you will, is to not buy anything and not to ingest any home media. So you may be thinking, this girl's off the rocker and not on point, because our culture seems to be very geared towards surviving this quarantine by staring at all the different social media websites and different dreamy aspirational websites like Pinterest and House, all that kind of stuff for dream houses, and maybe working on this house projects with all this time at home, and maybe you have the handy spouse of the family is home with maybe some extra time and you think, well, let's get it done. Listen, if you've got something that you've been thinking about for a long time, okay, and that you've been wanting to get done and it's already sorted, go do it, okay? If you've got projects that are just lying in wait and materials lying in wait, if you're drowning in materials as I am, go do the work. Go right now, okay? But if you're like, oh my gosh, we're on quarantine and I have all this time and now I'm gonna begin that project of figuring out my house, no, it's not really, I don't think it's gonna work. Number one, all of the furniture and the home retailers are dying to see ya, okay? I look on Wayfair and Overstock and it's like free. Everything is like they're gonna pay you soon to take their stuff. Rugs, furniture, lamps. It seems like it's a great deal. Home Depot even wants you to do projects. I think, again, if you're clear and you're rock solid, that you've done sort of the work on thinking through what is a good match for you and your family and how you live and who you are and all that kind of stuff, great, go for it. If you're unclear, unsure, and you're just like, what color, what couch, what thing, do we move this wall, do we not move this wall, all that kind of stuff, please just do a little homework first. Please do a stop. Let's have a stoppage. Let's have a timeout, okay? Not a technical foul. You want to avoid that. You want to do a timeout. Okay, I'm going to read something actually from somebody else's book. Crap, I just think I lost it. This is not good. also, the other thing that's good is that I 100% don't know how to edit video. So whatever I say in this video, I'm going to post because I can't edit any F-bombs or anything else or any of the bad word. Anyway, this book has a great couple sentences on the home that I want to read. It's called You Got This, Mama, and it's by Andrea Faulkner Williams, and she's the founder of Tubby Todd Bath Company, and it's actually a book on surviving as a mom, but it has a great home chapter. And she writes, to me, creating a cozy home, which everybody wants, is like anything else. It starts with deciding what you value and setting priorities. So she doesn't say it starts with getting a fan deck out from Benjamin Moore and then going to Pinterest and putting like coastal blue living rooms in the box. It doesn't say that. It says thinking about what you value and set your priorities. Well, to do that, it's really sort of a very interior job, right? It's really thinking through who you are, what you like, what your values are, where you've been, what your story is. So that homework is what she's talking about. Next, she goes on to say, to me, homemaking isn't about decorating with fake ferns above your kitchen cabinets. I don't know who that's for, but it's definitely not that. Or even having the newest, hippest, mid-century mod furniture. It's about taking responsibility for the culture you're creating every day in your home. I love that because, first of all, we're creating a culture in a home. It's not a movie set where you're just looking at walls and art and furniture and texture. You're creating a culture, and the walls and furniture are part of the culture, but so is the sound, so is the smell, so is the tastes, so are the traditions, so are the way your family operates, so are the personalities. But there's a lot, from my perspective, in the culture that can be sort of directed by design, but you have to be clear on what the culture is you're going to create first, right? And anytime you're kind of seeing someone else's culture out there in a magazine, you're like, I want that. I want whatever that is she's got going on with the white and this. I want that. Well, I want that too. Sometimes I want that too. Sometimes I see Anna Garden's kitchen. I'm like, I'll just copy and paste. But that's not true to me, right? It just looks good right here, right in my eyes in sort of our devices. I don't know why I'm going like this because it's usually right here. You know what I mean? You catch my drift. Anyway, so grateful for this idea. The intention here is the goal of this chapter is to think about your home culture and what you can make it and how you can make it what you want. So that's what Andrea is saying. I totally wholeheartedly agree, which is why I'm trying to support my argument to not buy anything, to not look at home stuff. Now, you don't have to do this for 6 months. This can be a week or 3 days or 5 days, the whole quarantine where you take a break from buying anything, and you take a break from looking at stuff, DIY projects, other rooms, aspirational. You put your dream file away. I have a whole sort of tirade on dream files in my book here because I think that they are sometimes defeating. a dream file. So rather than just a dream file, the home book will also act as a journal. So also, I forgot to say that, the home book. So what I'm also suggesting during this media diet and during this time when you're not buying anything, I told you I can't edit, so we're going to keep it, is to create a home book. It is a notebook with notes and thoughts about who you are, who your family is, what your house offers in this journey together with this little book, that you're going to put that is going to be the foundation. And that is going to be the grease. Is this a good metaphor? For the motor, in terms of making those decisions later. In fact, that really is the motor, but the knowledge is the grease. This metaphor doesn't work, but the point is, when you've done the homework, the decisions to make the colors and the textures and the what's, it becomes easier because you're clear. You're clear on paper of who you are, what the culture is that you're creating. So please, there's much benefit that can come from a pause in buying anything, because we know we're not going to buy anything just to make ourselves feel better. I mean, listen, retail therapy is great, but it also leads to like wasting your money, wasting your time, putting something in your house that then feels like crap because you didn't make a good decision, and then you feel even worse about the house that you already didn't feel great about. Taking a break from all that has a lot of power. It really does. It's also like, you know what? I've been confused about this room. I didn't know what color to do, whatever, but I am ceasing that. I am quarantining. I'm shutting it down. Shutting down the process of being in indecision is very powerful, because when you haven't made a decision, sometimes it kind of just sits right here over you, like what color, what couch, what lamp, whatever. Do we do the addition? Do we not? Do we move? Do we stay? When it sits up here, it can be very heavy. And did you see how that, I mean, when I put my hand on your head, it crushes, right? Anyway, you get my drift. Put the indecision on hold, because we're going to look in a different direction. We're going to look and talk about our story. Actually, in the next chapter, it's such a fun one, I think, one of my favorites. It's where we really mine our story, where we really look in there. I'm not going to do a mining metaphor. I'm just going to leave it where we really look deep. We deep dive into our own story and what we bring to the table, and how do we learn to express that in our house. So I hope you'll join me. If you don't want to do the media diet, I get it, but please try. Please try. There's so many other things to watch. There's music, fashion, gardening, flowers, cooking. I mean, guys, come on. There's so many other things to look at. If you're going to be with me on this journey about the house, if you're lost and you want help, stay away from the house stuff. Don't buy anything for a little while. Stay tuned. Next video, also soon. Can't commit. 2 days. Let's say that. Saturday. Bye.